Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with saxophonist Richard Underhill of Toronto's Shuffle Demons on their new 2021 CD called All In. And that's exactly what was going on with this. This is a new all-instrumental album with compositions by 4 of the 5 band members ranging from contemporary jazz to groovy funk jazz. We talked to Rich about this project, COVID, and so much more. Enjoy.
I think if you come through Kansas City, I think you all love it. I mean, from the barbecue to it's a very culturally rich town, so I think you guys would really, really dig it. So
it'd be fun.
Thank you for reaching out with the new material. I always love it whenever I get new songs, and especially now with, all of this time that we've been away from live music to see what everybody's been working on. It's really cool to see all this materialize right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for us, when the pandemic hit, it was like, okay, all the gigs are shut down. We might as well write some music and do some more in-depth practicing, and then we managed to get into the studio, which was great.
Well, and I guess it's appropriate because the name of the album is All In. And talk to me a little bit about, before we get into how you stitched this together creatively, tell me, what does it feel like now, after all of this time that we've had away from live music, to have the possibility of engaging with a live audience and just the different things are changing and getting a little bit better. How does that feel to have that out now?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, when the pandemic first hit, everyone just kind of went into this cocoon for a while, and I like I tell you, I didn't play my horn for a couple months probably, and then just for myself, I just had to start playing. I was like, wait, I really like to do this. It doesn't matter that I'm not doing it for people. So I was like reading Stan Getz transcriptions and Bird transcriptions and stuff like that, just to keep it happening. And then actually I was lucky we were able to do I have a drummer in another band who lives next to a park. So we got to play outside in a park. And the first time we did that in like June of last year, or July, just the looks on people's faces because they hadn't seen live music before, and just the feelings of joy and thankfulness that they were giving to us that they had, it was really, really encouraging. So now that we've got the opportunity to do it inside again, it's the same thing. People are just so overjoyed to be able to see live music again. And they didn't, in the beginning, they didn't realize how much they'd taken it for granted, and now they really don't. So that's one of the little silver linings is that people realize just how important live music is.
What were you going for creatively with this album? What do you ultimately want the listener to get from this?
Well, I think what's cool is we're a real collective band, and we all, have input in the recordings. And so this time, 4 of the 5 members of the band wrote songs, and often we have vocals on it, on the albums, and sometimes the lyrics are goofy, sometimes there's, sort of socially conscious lyrics, but this time, for some reason, no lyrics really emerged. And I think maybe because of the times that we were going through, it didn't really feel like you wanted to make a social commentary or a commentary on what was going on, and just this kind of instrumental, more imaginative vibe came out. So it's a bit of a range. There's some groovy stuff that kind of reminds you of J.B. Horns or Average White Band, and then there's some really cool contemporary jazz things that are, still really melodic, but go into a lot of different places.
So I guess that's the thing now. How are things looking exactly where you're located in Canada? What's going on with, vaccination rates and confidence, and how are things materializing right now?
It's not bad here. We don't have the most progressive government, but they seem to be sort of, attempting to follow rules. So our vaccination rate in Ontario is actually, this province that I'm in Canada, that Toronto is the biggest city, is actually pretty good. Of adults is kind of in the 80 to almost 90% range for 2 vax. So, but things are climbing again because of the new variants, and, schools are kind of a dry rip things. So, I think we're stumbling along as best we can. It's a bit of a new reality. Actually, I've come up with a thing on gigs when I saw this DIY make your own fan thing. So I have a box fan, just a 20 by 20 inch box fan with a MERV 13 filter attached to it. So MERV 13 is the standard for removing things like viruses. So I just put it on the stage, blowing at me, and it blows clear, clean air at the band. It's like one of those little things you can do to make you at least psychologically feel a bit better.
Yeah, placebo definitely works. Yeah, but that's a great idea. You know, I mean, it definitely is. So talk to me a little bit about what's going to be in the future. Do you guys have a bunch of new material in the can because of this time off? What are live shows? How are things looking as we look forward?
Well, we've been just a really serious world traveling band. We've been to India 3 times, China 3 times, Japan 3 times, Australia, New Zealand 3 times. We've toured to the States a couple times for sure, just in and out because we're closer. So we'd really love to get back to the international touring thing again. We're just, we're proceeding cautiously right now because we don't know what's going on, but I'm really hoping by the summer things will kind of open up so we could do like a fall tour somewhere. We have some shows here in Toronto. That we've got one on February 4th that we're going to do in a bigger club, so that's great. But yeah, we're just we're hanging in. We're trying to get the new music out there, and then we're just seeing what happens, and hopefully things improve. Hopefully, what they said about the Spanish flu was that eventually it got more communicative. It was easier to catch, but what you got was a less, it wasn't such a serious dose that you got. So hopefully with the new variants, that's what happens, and we'll get out of this, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And, that's kind of the nature of viruses. They want to keep living and going on. But I think the more we're vaccinated and the more we pound this thing out, I think we'll be in better shape for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, Rich, hey, thanks again for sending the music over. Good luck with the album, and as our lives move forward with live music, good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, Joe, and thanks for your support of the music. It's wonderful to have people that are really interested in what we're doing, keeping the music alive. So that's a really great thing. Thanks for doing that, and best wishes to you and everyone in Kansas City and all your listening area. I hope everyone stays safe and has a great holiday.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Toronto, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. Thanks to Rich for his time, energy, and cool. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.